What if your cat has been trying to tell you something for years and you didn't even realize it? Not because you don't care, but because no one ever showed you what to look for. And here's the scary part. Cats don't keep asking forever. At some point, they just stop. 1. You think you understand your cat. You feed them, you pet them, you keep them safe. So of course, you're doing everything right? Here's where it quietly falls apart. Cats don't act the way you expect them to. They don't complain, and they don't demand attention. They adjust. And that's what makes it so easy to miss. It shows up in small ways. They sit near you, just not as close as before. They stop coming up as often. They watch you instead of walking toward you. And you tell yourself, that's just how cats are. Independent, distant. But it's not independence. It's an adjustment. Your cat isn't asking for less. They've just learned you're not noticing, so they stop asking. And once you see that, you realize something most people miss. It's not just what you do, it's when they need it and how you respond. 2. The moment trust starts to drop. Have you ever reached out to pet your cat and they leaned away or quietly walked off? Most people don't think twice about it, but in that moment, something important just happened. Think of it like this. Your cat has an invisible trust account, and every time you touch them when they didn't ask for it, it's a small withdrawal. Not enough to break anything right away, but over time, it adds up, and you don't notice it happening until things start to feel different. They come to you a little less. They sit a little further away. They hesitate just a little longer, and one day, they don't pull away anymore. They just stop coming closer. 3. The place they wish they had. Where does your cat go when something feels off? Not when they're playing, but when they're unsure. Under the bed, behind the couch, somewhere low and out of sight. And it looks like comfort, but it isn't. Cats don't feel safe low, they feel safe high. Up there, nothing surprises them and nothing corners them. They can see without being seen. But most cats never get that option. They jump on a shelf, you move them. They climb higher and you stop them. So they learn something quietly. Up isn't allowed. So they go where they can, down, hidden. One small change flips everything. Clear a high space, a cabinet, a shelf, a corner above the room. Put something soft there and leave it. Then watch what happens. They stop disappearing. They sit above everything, calm, watching, present, because they were never trying to misbehave. They were trying to feel safe. 4. Why your CAT feels intimidated. Your cat spends their whole life looking up at you. To them, you're huge, you move fast, and you make noise without warning. From their world, you're unpredictable, and unpredictable doesn't feel safe. So even when you're gentle, even when you mean well, sometimes you still feel like too much. And this is where something changes. Not with them, but with you. Instead of reaching down, you come down. You sit on the floor. No calling, no touching, just being there. Someone described doing this after losing someone close. Everything felt off, their routine was broken, and their cat started keeping distance, watching instead of coming closer. One night, they stopped trying to fix it. They just sat on the floor, quiet and still. And after a while, the cat stepped closer, slowly and carefully, like it was deciding something. And then it curled up beside them. No calling, no forcing. It just chose to come back. Because in that moment, you weren't something above them anymore, you were something safe. 5. The 2-second test you keep skipping. The next time you go to pet your cat, pause just for a sec, because most people don't. They see their cat, reach out, and go straight for the pet. And to you, that feels normal. But to your cat, it's like someone walking up to you and hugging you without even saying hello. Instead, offer your hand and wait. Don't move closer. Let them decide. If they lean in, you're welcome. If they don't, that's your answer. And that tiny moment, that pause, is where trust actually starts. Not when you reach for them, but when they choose you. 6. When your CAT stops feeling safe, your cat doesn't live by the clock. They live by patterns, the same moments, the same rhythm. That's how they understand their world. And when that rhythm breaks, something else breaks with it. You might notice it slowly. They start hiding more, staying away, watching instead of coming closer. And it feels like they've changed, but they haven't. Their world did. When routines disappear, when one day feels nothing like the next, they lose something important. Not comfort, but predictability. And without that, they don't feel safe. They're not pulling away. They're trying to understand a world that stopped making sense. And the fix isn't doing more. It's doing the same things again and again. Something they can recognize, something they can trust. Because for your cat, Safety isn't about more attention, it's about knowing what happens next. If you've noticed your cat waiting for you at the same time every day, subscribe. You're starting to see how their world really works. 7. The conversation you never had. Here's something most people don't realize. Adult cats don't meow to other cats. They only do it for you. Over time, your cat created a way to communicate that works with one being in the world, you. Every sound they make, at the door, in the kitchen, late at night when they follow you, isn't random. That's communication. And the more you pay attention, the more you start to hear it. Not just the sound, but what it means. Because your voice isn't just noise to them, it's familiar, it's steady, it's home. And maybe that's the part most people miss. They've been talking to you this whole time, and you never realized you were part of the conversation. 8. What your CAT was really waiting for. When you look back at all of this, it starts to feel different. They weren't asking for more attention, or more toys, or more effort. They were waiting for something much simpler. A moment of patience, a little space, a chance to be understood on their terms. And once you see that, everything changes. Not how much you love them, but how that love feels to them. Because it was never about doing more. It was about noticing what they've been showing you all along. And once you see it, you don't go back. I understand now. If this changed how you see your cat,